Going to do a push session today, which I've not done in ages anyway. I think I tried to do a solo push session a while ago, but at that point in time I was struggling quite significantly with my shoulder issues, which are in a much better spot at the moment. So I'm looking forward to taking you guys through a session today. Just to give you a quick little update, I'm about a week to maybe on 10 days now, I think, into this diet phase. So I've started a little bit of a pullback after pushing for quite a long time. I think I was about 8 months of pushing there, so just starting to bring things back. Going to try and do about a 10 to 12 week, just quick little tidy up, just to really get myself started and reset. I was at a point where I'd been holding that body weight for a long time, and I really just needed to kind of pull things back. So one of the biggest things for me is when I'm dieting, I often don't really think about it much when I go into my sessions, because I think that you can very much like overthink, like, how's my performance going to be today? I'm dieting, I'm going to be weaker, and that's a huge thing for me. Is I just try and come in and treat it like any other day. Like, of course I need to be mindful of certain load choices and how the session's going to look, but I just train because I love to train, and I do that every day no matter what. So when I'm dieting, nothing's changing, you know, like my food intake's a bit different, doing a little bit more output, but I'm still just training as I usually do because I love it. So usually I don't really like to think about it, but with today being a filming episode, I do want to actually talk you guys through a few more things, probably relating to just approaching training whilst you're dieting and just entering diet phases in general. So I'll make sure to run through some of those bits across the session, but just going to do some warm-up stuff now and then we'll get started. So to run through some cues on the single arm lateral, especially on a cuff, because I think that a lot of people just think, cool, let's whack a cuff on and just kind of drag it out, good to go. But what you often see is, more often than not, people are going to be using trap to move it up, or maybe they're going to get a bit of front delt in there, and you actually need to pay attention to what you need to do to use your side delt. So without actually having the cuff or having the load there, just think about where your arm needs to move in order for you to actually work your side delt. Putting it in the simplest of terms, the side delt is here. In order to drag out, we go there. If you're moving like this, do you really feel like that's going to be doing much for your side delt? Not really, no. So you want to have the cuff. Generally, I always say have it above like a wrist strap if you have one. You want to have your grip relatively pronated in front. If you're taking an outward grip like this, you're more likely to drag out like that, use more front delt or use a bit more trap. If you're pronated, you're going to drag in what's realistically a diagonal motion. So you're not going like completely out to the side. You want to keep your upper arm, so from shoulder down to your elbow, in front of your rib cage. So that's where you want to be positioned. You want to step out a little bit, just so that the path is coming diagonally across. And then from there, you're really going to start at about this point. You don't want to be all the way across here, because this initial movement is going to be a bit of trap, a bit of supraspinatus. It's not really going to be the side delt. So you want to be starting about here. That's going to be taking your side delt into that lengthy position, dragging out, shorten positions there. That's as far as you really need to go. Use something to create stability. If you're stood here trying to move about, you're going to feel like you're really struggling to drive any stability in the movement. Get yourself stable, find a position, and really simplify it. Like, you're not going to be using a lot of load on the side lateral unless you're really strong, but for the most part, it's a small muscle group. You're going to really just be dragging in a relatively short range of motion. We'll do a Y raise later, and I'll show you something that we do for a little bit more of the delt other than just the side delt. But here it really is quite a short range of motion. In this plane here, dragging out there. If you feel like something's not quite right, drop the load, take some of those cues on board, visualize it, watch others do it, and hopefully that will help in terms of the feel of the movement and getting more out of it too.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
So I actually made some sensible changes to that. The last 2 rotations I think I did on this session, which were before I'd started my diet, I think I took a bit of a cheeky 2.5 kilo increase aside, but I dropped down to like 5 or 6 reps that were a little bit ropey. So now that I'm in a diet, it's like, okay, do I try and keep at that same load and basically probably take worse reps? Or do I just take that 2.5 kilos off and just maintain a good like 8-9 repper? Much smarter. So got to make smart load choices like that. I was actually I think I was a rep down from last rotation on this, but that's fine. I actually took quite a significant progression last rotation. I think I was 148 pounds and I took a couple of reps up. So obviously on a good day carrying a bit more body weight. Today I'm 4 or 5 pounds down from that. So taking 1 rep down on something that was a big progression is still fine. So you just kind of put those things into perspective a little bit more, and like I said, if I need to drop the load a little bit, I will do. If you've recently just taken some big progressions leading into a diet phase, if you're trying to maintain that, it's going to be hard work. It's not that it's not possible, but if you fall just shy of something that you've literally just grasped at when you're at the peak of your surplus, the likelihood of you still being able to kind of hold on to that or keep on that groove as you start to enter a deficit, it's gonna shift. So it's just kind of being aware of those lows and putting that into perspective a little bit more.